What up, everybody? Rarity here, and had a little bit of technical malfunctions, hardware malfunctions when I first started my stream. I'm going to start things over. So a little bit of jumping back over some content, but not too much. All right, trying this again. So today, New World had some leaks. New World had some leaks from people with NDA alpha access to their alpha patch notes. We don't have a 100% for sure that these are real, but I mean, we can all kind of piece things together. So you'll just have to take this information with a grain of salt, if that's the saying. So there has been known that there's going to be some in-game cosmetic type purchases in the game, and their alpha patch notes leaked by some unnamed individuals shows that there's going to be some pay-to-win type stuff in there. It may not be at launch, and they've come out on Twitter several times to different people and said that there's not going to be boost type purchases in the in-game store at launch. But I mean, we'll just go ahead and skim over this real quick. The meaningful part is at the end of the first paragraph, or in the middle of the first paragraph. So New World is introducing in-game purchases for special cosmetic items for players, their in-game homes. We will sell cosmetics in the form of item skins, dyes, company crests, and emotes. So to each their own. I personally don't care for any in-game purchases. Some things like dyes to make your gear look a different color. Maybe you really like a Thunder Fury like in World of Warcraft, but maybe you wish that, I don't know, the handle was more of a silvery than a gold, or I don't, whatever. But when you start having like unique cosmetics to the in-game stores, then that's where I kind of draw the line. I mean, each game has to make money somehow, and I'm personally sick of companies double and triple dipping into all the different types of ways that you can monetize a game. I personally spend a lot of time with games that I enjoy and cherish and I want to play. I would more than be how do I want to phrase that sentence? I would more than willing go ahead and pay for a box price for launch and major expansions, and then also pay a monthly subscription fee, even if that monthly subscription fee is more than your typical subscription fee, like, I don't know, $20 to $30 a month. If the game was gold and I really loved and enjoyed playing it, like, it's a hobby, like, you got to pay for entertainment. Like, sure, it's gonna cut into the number of players sometimes, but like keeping integrity losing type aspects out of games, in order, like World of Warcraft in 2004, you paid for the box price of the game, you paid for a monthly subscription to keep the servers running and maintenance, and pay for GMs to actually handle in-game problems, and the game as a service. Like that was the first iteration of games as a service, was subscription fees. And I've talked about this before, but in like 2008 or whatever it was, when Activision and Blizzard merged, they decided to go the in-game shop route rather than increasing subscription fees, which I think was a very poor choice. Like, why not increase subscription fees just a small amount, $17.50 a month, and then $20 a month, and then $22.50. Like, there, inflation happens. Like, you can't expect a price of something to stay consistent forever. And so that's my personal opinion on ways to monetize games. But continuing with this, we may sell quality of life items or boosts that will help players improve their time spent leveling up their character and trade skill experience. Now, the next sentence, they go ahead and try to make the previous sentence sound better by saying, we're committed on keeping the competitive systems fair and balanced for all customers, and purchases will not provide a competitive edge over another player who chooses not to purchase additional items. So they know how dividing that previous sentence can be, how degrading it can be, that they have to follow up with a reasoning behind having the first sentence as the second sentence. Like, I'm just gonna read the first sentence again. We may sell quality of life items or boosts that will help players improve their time spent leveling up their characters and trade skill experience. Improve their time spent. You mean reduce their time spent. Like, there are so many buzzwords in these two sentences that are like supposed to like disarm you and make you feel better about it. We may sell, or like improve. It's just, you can't sell a boost and reduce someone's time spent doing things in game and not have it like impact competitive systems. You fast track yourself to the end of the game and you can start doing end game stuff, creating resources, farming gold at higher level, all of this jazz, without it impacting the competitive systems of the game. It's just, I've lost a lot of hope for New World. Like, lately I've been taking a different mindset to games. I'm not going to spend a lot of time paying super close attention to everything that's going on with the game. I'm not going to overhype the game itself. I've been keeping just an eye on things, watching the occasional video, and this caught my eye, and this will probably make it so I don't even buy the game unless they remove this. Like, they've said that they're not going to have this kind of stuff at launch, but I mean, games coming out end of August, that's Q3 earnings reports, and then I wouldn't be surprised come holiday this year they start selling boosts for those who may not have been able to purchase the game up front but can with some additional gift money or whatever, and then they have the ability to sell boosts, so just increase their quarterly earnings reports again. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see it by the end of the year, even if they don't include it at launch, which they've been very adamant about saying on Twitter. Like, they're like, no, this isn't going to be included in launch. It's going to be included at some point, unless there is a ridiculous amount of backlash from the community saying that they don't want it, and that has to also probably be followed up with people like canceling pre-orders, which I have my own tangent about pre-orders. Don't pre-order games. If you're going to be playing the game or purchasing the game digitally and downloading it online, you don't buy a physical copy of the game. There's no reason to pre-order it. Pre-orders nowadays are just a way to lock in a sale, where previously pre-orders were like, hey, the local GameStop needs to know how many to order so that they can order enough so that everyone can play. So pre-orders, I haven't pre-ordered a game in years. Ever since, what is it, 2014 when I bought my PlayStation 4, I stopped pre-ordering games, like, because I bought one game in store when I bought my PS4. It was, what was it, Killzone Shadowfall, and that was the last physical copy of a game that I purchased. Like, I had another game, Elder Scrolls Online, when that released on consoles. Someone bought me a physical copy of it because I wanted to play it, and I don't know, they were at the store and we figured it'd be faster than downloading the update or something. I don't remember the exact reason, but those are the two physical copies of games that I've owned in the last 7 years. Like, you don't pre-order games anymore. Anyways, I'm not going to really read any of the rest of that because it's just nonsense. But, man, pay-to-win type stuff in New World. Like, here's the Reddit content. Fine with everything aside from the quality of life improvements and boosts. These will significantly turn me off the game, and I suspect some others as well. You are 100% correct, my friend. Not buying that game. Not buying that game. All right. So that leads me into my next subject. Games that I'm not going to buy. Okay, well, it's because we don't have to buy it. TBC, The Burning Crusade. Pre-patch comes out next Tuesday on May 18th. And I wanted to go through and look at some profession type stuff and just really preparation stuff in general, because I plan on playing Blood Elf Paladin on my home realm of Fairlina. I had some back and forth, some unsure moments on what I was going to do. A couple of my friends aren't going to be playing much. Some other ones are leaving to another server, going to be playing a different faction. They're going to be playing Alliance instead of Horde. And then other friends who just have joined other guilds and stuff like that. So for a little while I was in limbo, and last night with talking to a couple friends, creating my own pro and con list. We'll show you a sneak peek. This is my big yellow legal pad of pros, cons, the ugly, and the unknown. After a little bit, I made up my mind. I'm gonna play my Blood Elf Paladin at pre-patch launch, and if I'm enjoying it, I'll stick with it. If things flop and the guild that I am thinking of joining doesn't end up developing a second raid team, which they have 48 signups or something like that. So with alts, we have 2 teams, but it's going to be hard to require people to go 2 times or to 2 different raids every week. So with that in mind, if situations add up and arise, then I will consider going over and playing Paladin on an Alliance server, which Alliance would be a good change of pace, but I have been waiting to play a Blood Elf since Classic launched. It's my bread and butter. A race that doesn't really impact the game very much. Like, some racials are good, but Blood Elf racials are kind of blah. Like, my Arcane torrent will help a little bit in very specific situations. I'm not even going to be an enchanter, so at least that's not my goal. I've heard enchanting is good for paladins, but that's the thing. I want to talk about what I should do or what I can do now and theory craft, do some investigation on different things that I can do before pre-patch over the next couple days, and just talk about it. See if other people also have ideas to share. Maybe someone can learn something from the investigation that I do that might help them. With my newish approach to gaming, I don't want to super deep dive into new content. I might do some high level overviews of zones, just to see what would be most interested in leveling through. But I want to experience the game for what it is outside of min-maxing outside of the game. That might be a more casual approach, but I probably will end up playing the game more, because I'm not going to be stressing out about optimizing my time, or, in my opinion, optimizing the fun out of it. So I did a lot of hardcore type stuff in Classic, and it really burnt me out, caused tension between our raid team, and the speed runs just like we did well for a bunch of misfit toys. We did a pretty good job. I think we were top 5 on the server on Horde. The Alliance had some great teams out there, but I want to look at some stuff. Like, so the breakdowns that I have right now are, let me pull her up. So I have my 3 different groups preparing to play the Blood Elf Paladin. What all those things might include, things like setting up leveling consumes, mostly like mana potions and swiftness potions, maybe some invisibility potions, things of that nature I want to look into and see. I've already built up a little bit of a stock house. I did this a week or 2 ago, but with the auction house shutting down tomorrow, I might take a reevaluated look and see if I'm going to need either more of those consumes or additional consumes. I want to look into, I meant to do this like a week ago as well. I want to buy some BOE, some bind on equip, at least weapons, maybe some gear that I can enchant, like, I don't know, like a skinning dagger and put fiery weapon on it so that I have a pretty good weapon to start off with. Maybe figure out a way to get some boots that won't become soulbound when I place an enchant on them. I think everything that's above a gray item becomes soulbound, and also have to evaluate how that's going to break down over time. Am I going to keep using these gray boots? Because I stumbled upon this realization a while ago, but as my guild's enchanter, I discovered that enchanting is the only profession that you can't use for your own alts on the same account. Every other profession, you can create goods and services and then trade them. Enchanting, you can't do that. You can't enchant your own alts. And so it was really weird for me when I came across that realization. Like, it was mind-boggling. I was like, wow, I picked one of the dumbest professions, but I was able to be my guild's enchanter, and there's a couple people in my guild that were great. They would ask me how my day was going because the enchanter before me quit, and one of his things that he said was, "You guys just use me. No one even asks how I'm doing," or something like that. And so it was a meme for the longest time. People would tag me in Discord and just ask me how my day was doing, and that was keyword for, hey, I need an enchant. So that was pretty fun. No, I was glad to be able to. That was my way to help give back to the guild. So that was great. And but downfall, my current main, which won't be my main come TBC, I can't enchant my own main. Sucks. Where are my inscriptions so I can enchant onto a parchment and trade it? It's a cool addition that they added later on, but like obviously that took some of the community out of the game. But so yeah, maybe look into the leveling route I want to contemplate for classic content. Set up leveling talents, look through the talent tree and see what I'll be interested in doing leveling wise. So all these stuff, this is all preparing to play my Blood Elf Paladin. Maybe I've already gained some profession materials, but right now it's for blacksmithing and jewel crafting, where enchanting could be an option. I don't know what I would drop. From the little tidbits of information I have researched, prop paladin, I guess, is better. Like, it's better to have jewel crafting because some of the trinkets are pretty sick. But for ret, it might be better to have enchanting for the ring enchants. I'm so glad that they went through and made it so you, once you drop a profession, you lose the bonuses that you get for having just that profession. So enchanting, you got ring enchants, and now when you drop enchanting, you lose those ring enchants. Super glad that that's a thing, because there were some sweaty sweats out there who went through and leveled up enchanting, dropped whatever it was that they were working on. Like they probably had, I don't know, maybe they dropped leather working and re-leveled up enchanting if they got a new ring, enchanted their ring, and then dropped it again and went back to leather working. Like, man, I know that works, but oh, that is super sweat mode for, I'm assuming pay like 300, 500 gold for a ring enchant, like, and all the time that takes. Oh, so glad that's not in the game. But that's my preparing to level the Blood Elf Paladin. Then also, I want to check out fun things to do at 60 for the 2 weeks until the launch for TBC comes out. Really wish the pre-patch time was more like 4 weeks. I was going to just play a really relaxed, probably mostly questing, just enjoying myself, enjoying the game way of leveling up my paladin. But now I can't. I got 2 weeks. By some people's measurements, I'm gonna have to play 7 to 8 hours a day for those 2 weeks in order to hit 60, and that's playing at a pretty efficient rate of XP. So we might be looking at more like 12-hour days and just enjoying myself. It's a lot of time. But yeah, so planning out some fun things to do at 60 if I can get there. I really want to own the Soulforge armor set. I know it's not great, but Dungeon Set 2 just looks cool, and I just want it. I'm not going to be able to get the PvP set. I'm not gonna be able to get to 60 and grind out enough PvP to purchase the PvP gear. I really want to. But yeah, that's part of the planning for 60. We'll see where we're at when I hit that, and we'll see what we can do, because there's also other exciting things to look into for when I hit 60, like cool pieces of gear that are either quest or world drops that could be super beneficial, like Wrath of Cenarius from the Silithus quest line. Like, they dropped all of those elite mobs down to regular mobs, so you can solo them more easily. So that could be an option, and maybe I'll be able to get into a raid. So I'll have to look at some of the different gear options that there are in raids and target the ones that might have an option for a gear piece I'd be interested in. It's gonna be super weird for that second week. I'm assuming a lot of Blood Elves aren't going to be in raids that first week, obviously, but I could see some being in for that second reset week. Some no lifers getting in there. So all the gear options that are going to be available are probably going to be super soft resed or hard resed. Like some raid teams are going to be like trying to set up pugs or doing their own raids, I guess, and then hard resing items for their paladins, probably for their like prot tanks and stuff like that. Their off tanks, making sure that their prot person is got a good solid set of, because there's a lot of gear that you get in classic that's still really good at level 70. Some stuff that just either has ridiculous stats or is based on a percentage. So like mind quickening gem, like it gives you a flat reduction to spell casting for mages. Like that's just great. That's going to be a great item probably through TBC as well. I haven't looked into it myself because, like I said, trying not to spoil too much of that level 70 stuff for myself. And I mean, that, I guess that segues into the last and third topic of investigation that I want to look into, and that's looking at level 60 to 70 stuff, including things like endgame professions, making sure that my mind is made up on blacksmithing and jewel crafting. Yeah, sure, the auction house is going down tomorrow. I'm assuming that's going to be after reset. After reset, so early tomorrow morning. But I still have all of my consumes, but I might want to switch. I'm assuming come Monday, I could probably actually sell all of those mats for probably double or triple what I bought them for 2 weeks ago. Like, and I spent quite a bit of gold on some of them compared to what I could have bought them for months ago. But you know, you can't plan. You could plan everything, but I'm not perfect. And I mean, other things to look into, like just high level overview of the different zones, seeing what I want to play through. I think Nagrand looks really cool. I don't want to play in Hellfire very much. I really don't. I hate Hellfire so much. Like, I might look into, I don't know, if I can get enough good gear, maybe I'll solo run through Strat to 62 so I don't have to play Hellfire. Because I hear that you can get Nagrand quests at 62, but again, like trying not to super min-max my shit there. I hate Hellfire. I don't want to play in Hellfire more than I have to, which I already know that there's a sword sold once you hit Exalted Rep, so like I'm sure I'm going to be dungeoning in Hellfire Ramparts at some point. If I'm playing Prot, like, people are gonna need tanks. It's just how it is. So I'll get there eventually. I'll help people out, which will in turn help me, because I'll be getting that rep. From what I've heard, the rep stops at Revered or something. Honored. You still need to get to Exalted for Stormcaller. See, I'm not even 100% sure on the names. I just know that it is a spell power sword with less than 2.0 swing speed, which is great for Reckoning procs as a paladin. All stuff that I want to talk about later, obviously. Yeah, so just investigate. Additionally, just investigate rewards for reputations and see if there's just like a zone I want to play in because their rep rewards are great. Like, I don't know. Except for not Hellfire. Fuck Hellfire. Excuse my language. I hate Hellfire. Hellfire can go die. It's like Dorotar, but worse. Can you tell how I feel about the Horde capital? Sick of mud huts. And orange. I hate the color orange. I really hate the color orange. I just got some likes on my tweet about New World sucking. A reply. So I'm excited about some pre-release. What do you say? Pre-alpha test this weekend. I'm not gonna be playing that. I ain't got access to that. I wish I did. I'd be doing that shit up, man. Anyways, should we start at the top of the list? Preparing to play Blood Elf Paladin. Now, in order to prepare to play Blood Elf Paladin, I need to first investigate endgame professions, which is kind of like a jump down into the last category of leveling 60 to 70 stuff. That category, they all kind of overlap a little bit. So I don't know who thought up this list of things to talk about, but they didn't think it all the way through. Wouldn't be me. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. We're going to keep playing some Harris Heller stream beats in the background. Don't know what I would do without that. Background music is my jam. I've got now warm Gatorade over here. Give me a little bit of sugar. Does Gatorade have electrolytes? Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade has electrolytes, right? I bring this up because the gym and an hour-long walk with the doggo today kicked my ass. She is still sleeping. She's been sleeping for almost 3 hours now. I exhausted her. I'm exhausted myself. TBC. You guys like that? My little drop down for all the different variations of Wowhead. Nothing new. All right. So, number 1 is professions. Let's look at professions that I am going to be interested in looking into for TBC. I want to look at some of the endgame stuff, see what there is out there, see if any of it interests me. What's this population over here? Weird. Outline leatherworking. Why is there a separate category for that? Checking my stream health real quick. We have dropped 0 frames. Look at us go. Okay, jewel crafting. Jewel crafting, jewel crafting, jewel crafting. We're gonna pop on over here. Boop. Because we want to cover up those ads, right? Right? Usually what I do when I'm looking at this, like, on my own, I bring the window in enough that... Here, I'll just show you. I bring in the window enough that the ad goes away. So, like, whenever I view Wowhead, it's never larger than this, because screw that ad. They're always white, and they're always burning my retina. All right, so jewel crafting. I'm also interested in enchanting, blacksmithing. So the part about enchanting that sucks a little bit is I already have a high level enchanter who has everything other than +4 and +30 spell damage to weapons. But again, I can't enchant my own character. Plus, I'll miss out on ring enchants. So that's the reason why I'm interested in enchanting that. And I don't know how much the Blood Elf racial will impact being an enchanter. It gives you 10, but like, end of the day, does that really matter? Probably not. Interested in jewel crafting, interested in blacksmithing. What else could I be interested in for my paladin? I have a high level alchemist. I just don't have Flask of the Titans. Like, it's my rogue. I'm depending on what I want to do with my mage. My mage right now is enchanting and engineering. If I want to play PvP with my mage, I might keep engineering. But on the flip side of the coin, I might also want to go tailoring so that I can get some of that cool gear that tailoring provides. So we've got a big tree here of possibilities, and maybe I will go to this reduced size screen so that I can open another one over here for yet another. Whoop. Just gonna open this up in several different locations. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, and you have to black it out. You have to. It's just not an option. All right, so professions. what I have now. Oh, shift enter moves you up one. With what will be alts at that time. So I have enchanting. I have alchemy. I have a mid-tier tailor on my priest, just high enough that I can do mooncloth. I don't think it's too far away from being maxed out. So that's what I have. Pally. I don't know why, but I've always, if I can spell interested in for Pally, I've always spelled Pally with 2 L's, even though Paladin only has 1 L. Don't know why. It's just what I've done. All right, so I have enchanting, I have alchemy, I have tailoring. So I'm interested in jewel crafting and blacksmithing and maybe enchanting. So we'll look at what those provide end game. Just look at them lightly. Like, I obviously don't know everything. We're just looking solely at like things to see if they're interesting. I don't know. I might, even though I have all of the mats for these, or for jewel crafting and blacksmithing, even though I have all of the mats for those, I might level with mining just to get some additional mats. Maybe also leatherworking. They're not leatherworking, skinning. I don't know. Maybe. I see mid-tier blacksmithing stuff being very useful for all of those people who are going to be leveling up blacksmithing, jewel crafting, both your armor smiths and your weaponsmiths. I know a lot of that stuff doesn't use beginning level mats, but mining feeds a lot of stuff. Engineering, like, so the mats that I could get while leveling up might be really great. And I mean, I already have the stuff to go from 1 to 300, so like, it's a trade-off. It's like, am I going to use any of the stuff that I'm going to create with blacksmithing? Probably not. Jewel crafting, maybe. But like, I'm creating the same thing over and over like 30 times. So like, maybe I could use one of them, but it's probably not gonna be better than what I could find. Like, it's just how professions work. The end game stuff can be useful, but the mid-tier stuff usually is not. I could be interested in engineering if I was going like PvP master, but I don't see my paladin doing all that great in PvP. I could either play Ret with like a Resto Shaman, which I do have a friend who has a Resto Shaman, but he's probably gonna want to play his Resto Druid because they're just awesome. So, like, I don't know. I've heard Ret is super swingy. You basically are relying on crits, and that's why Wind Fury totems from shamans are so great in PvP for Ret to paladins. So I don't know. I do have a couple friends who have warriors, so I've heard that Resto Shaman, Ret Paladin, and like Arms Warrior can be fun in PvP 3s. But I don't know. I think if I'm going to be doing much PvP, it might be on my mage. With one of my core friends who I would play with being the healer extraordinaire, his pastel whack-a-mole raiding experience. He's probably going to be playing good old healer in any group. So like the reason I bring this up is because the thought of Shakadin, which is going to be primarily a healer with a little bit of offensive fun there, could be fun for PvP. And that's why I bring that up, because then if I want, that's another option for PvP, which might boost the engineering thought. Just trying to take a lot of things into account. So probably won't do much PvP on the Paladin, and if I do, I don't think that it's going to be so hardcore that I need engineering. I honestly don't even know to what level engineering is super helpful. Like, are iron grenades still usable in PvP? These are things I don't know. So because there's so many unknowns there for me, I don't think engineering is something that I'm going to consider. I hit all of my goals for today. I apparently held my watch in the exact right position that it thought I was standing. So I got my 12th hour of standing for the day. My 12th minute standing within a separate hour. Anyways, jewel crafting, super interested because they have cool totems from what I've seen. And gem slots are sweet. Blacksmithing is one I'm going to look into more. I know that they have some pretty sick weapons, but if I'm thinking I'm going to be going prot and I'm going to want to get something like Stormcaller, are the end game blacksmithing, swordsmithing, whatever, weaponsmithing, I mean, are those going to measure up for a prot paladin? And I'm starting to think no. And this is where dropping blacksmithing and picking up enchanting might be a thing. It'd be kind of weird being a jewel crafter enchanter, a little bit. But at the same time, I could instead just have mining as my second. You're missing out a little bit. Like, if I was to do enchanting, I would get enchants for my rings. If I was to do blacksmithing, then I could get cool weapons. Mining's kind of a dead profession for a class that is, like, it sucks thinking about it in that way. It doesn't give you anything, and in a world where I have 2 level 60s on this account, I don't have access to my other account where I had another level 60. In a world where I already have 2 60s, like, I could drop something on one of those and have blacksmithing. Or I could line Bobby's pockets and use a boost, which I really don't want to do, but I've contemplated doing that on a druid and then having that druid be like mining and, I don't know, skinning or herbalism, probably herbalism. And then that would be like a resource gatherer, like, for me. But at the same time, like, I could just buy all the mats off the auction house and just do other things to make money. Like, there's so many options. But yeah, like let's take a gander at some of these cool end game profession items from jewel crafting. Obviously, you have all these gems. Some frost resistance rings, nature resistance rings. Those are cool. Source from a vendor. Does that mean that the recipe's from a vendor? Got an eyelash in my eye. Puppy has decided she can no longer lay in the bed. It's too hot, and I don't blame her. She was kind of in the sun. Now she is laying on the hardwood floor because it is cool. Cool down the puppy. So we got all these gems. I'm not gonna look into those because I know they're gems. They have stats. Like increases damage and healing done by magical spells and effects by up to 150 for 20 seconds. So this is like on par with like Zandalari Hero Charm, and better than... It's got a slightly different cooldown, but better than Toep, Talisman of Imperial Power. That's cool. That's a cool item for prop. Pop that, drop down Consecration, which has a 33% spell power coefficient in Classic, but it jumps up to 95% spell power coefficient in... So like, what is that? That's 5, 6, 7 spell power off of that. That's 143 damage increase to your Consecration, hitting everything. Like, hot damn. What up, nerd? I can say the same thing to you, bruh. How you doing? Dodge rating by 165 for 20 seconds. Oh, I can see why this is good. Why jewel crafting is good for prot. Like, I think that these don't come out until later phases for some reason. Phase 5, look at that, up at the top right. Phase 5. It wasn't shown on this one, but it shows on the other two. And I think that these are kind of those like upgrade over time type trinkets. So like kind of like some of the swords in weapon smithing. We got some more gems, so not gonna look at those. All in all, between these three professions, I think the jewel crafting is the one that I am going to 100% keep. If I drop blacksmithing, I think it's going to be for enchanting. That's a pretty good stats. Like, the fact that it has 3 sockets is pretty good. I don't know what you can do with red and blue sockets, but look at that. You could get 10 dodge rating or 13 spell penetration. Some good stuff. I wish that the socket bonuses were more impactful. Because if I'm understanding the system correctly, you can put any gem into those 3 sockets. It doesn't matter. But if you match up the color scheme, if I put 1 red, 2 blues, and then I get the socket bonus at the +5 spell damage and healing. So, like, it's great that that's there, but, like, what if my socket bonus is just ass? Like, and then instead I could have got 8 spell damage by, like, just slotting in a red one. And if I'm not mistaken, the way that the secondary color ones work, the purple and the orange and the green, is that they, see, matches a yellow or blue socket. Okay. So, yeah, like, I just wish that the socket bonuses were more impactful. Circle of Arcane Might. That's just a really cool name. What does it give you? 2% chance on successful spell cast to increase your spell damage by up to 120 for 15 seconds. That's pretty cool. So that's on successful spell cast. And as a Protection Paladin, it's going to be on spell hit that Consecration will proc. On spell cast, I don't think that this would oh no. On successful spell cast, no. So you just have a 2% chance every time you drop Consecration, which is what you're going to be dropping most of the time, for it to increase your spell damage by 120 for 15 seconds, and Consecration lasts for 8 seconds. So you could either instant re-up, which you're missing, you're losing mana, or you can wait till the end of the 8 seconds, drop it again, because the fight can be over at that time. Maybe it will be. Maybe. The more I look at jewel crafting, the more I'm like, yeah, this is like, these items are just cool. Like, these might not ever see any use by me, but restore mana, huh? 75% proc chance. Oh, 25 second cooldown. Like some of these are cool, but like, there's probably just a helmet out there that matches a tier set that just gives you a tier set bonus that's just even cooler. Okay. Like, it's really the trinkets, I think, that shine in jewel crafting, and then obviously your gems. So these are available in phase 1. These are the the decreased, I don't know what you want to call it, the decreased good. They're blue items, they're rare items instead of epics. So this is less defense rating than the other one. Increase your attack power. Summon a fell steel boar to fight with you for 30 seconds. That could be good. What was the other one? Oh, I think it just loses. Oh, it's a 5-minute cooldown instead of a 2-minute cooldown. I was going to say, I think it just loses stats, but there's also the longer cooldown, so it's 5 minutes instead of 2 minutes. Okay. So this will still be good, and then it'll allow you to do some trinket swapping. Like, oh, I need to pull out my... As a mage for Classic, I did so much trinket swapping. Yeah, I switch between my TOEP and my ZHC and my... What's the name of it? Mind Quickening Gem. I've just called it MQG so much, so I'm like, what's the actual name of that shit? Stealth level. Weird. Increase attack power by 320 for 12 seconds. Whoa. That's a rogue trinket if I've ever seen one. Man, that's going to be dirty in PvP. Like, it says stealth level by 1, but I think that, like, that's massive. Okay, and then you just got a little mana popper. Ooh. Okay. I like that in the Burning Crusade, all healing gear also has, what is it? 33% damage, like spell damage attributed to it as well. So like it's still going to provide, so if you just have flat spell damage, like it's not going to be as much as the healing done that you get, but you still get a side benefit of your damaging spells still getting a boost. So that's cool for healers. We changed, hold on, we changed albums. I was not about it. What is this? View full playlist. No. I went to hit play and I clicked on the profile. All right. Okay. What is this? It's a neck with haste rating, attack power, and armor ignore. Whoa. How much does a 150 armor give someone? What percent decrease in damage taken? Let's see. People rave about swords that have a stacking bonus that get up to like 900 armor reduction. So just as a flat amount of always ignoring 150 of your opponent's armor seems good. Seems good. Spell hit is 14 for 1%, I think. Like, I almost wish that they... Oh. I meant to turn down the music a little bit in my own head. It's probably not that bad for you guys. Yeah, I wonder. So it's 14 and... Spell hit's 14. Spell crit, I think, was like 20. Kind of wish that it was just in a percentage still. Like, improve spell hit by 1.3. Like, something like that. Okay. This is a healing piece. Healing and damage. Okay. Some of this stuff might be like really good upgrades for me, like when I hit that. When I'm like 70 and I'm looking for like pre-raid bits, like some of this stuff might be gold. Excuse me. Some more defense rating on a neck. And damage and healing. Spell crit chance of nearby party members by 2% for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes. Oh, and it only has 10 charges. Oh. Who the hell's going to use that? Like, that's gotta be only like protection paladins. And I wonder, you move them into a party and you pop you use you use a charge. If you move them out of that party, does everyone lose the buff? Is it only to people in that party of the paladin for that 30 minutes? I mean, I guess you maybe put your prop paladin in with like your healer group. Then you can give all of your healers 2% crit for 30 minutes. I don't know, that's kind of cool. All stats of nearby party members increase by 10 for 30 minutes. Also 10 charges. Huh. Some of this stuff is kind of cool. Chance to increase. What? It just has a chance to increase? And how much does it increase it by? And what's the chance that it does it? The world may never know. Actually, people have probably increased it or read it or figured it out. 24 attack power and minor run speed. So some of those meta gems are super cool. Increase spell damage by up to 34 for all nearby party members for 30 minutes. Wow. This is spell hit rating and spell critical strike rating and spell pen. So this one isn't as limiting as the other one. Like the other one had defense and like only tanks need defense. I mean, like you could make an argument that everyone could use defense, but like if we're being realistic, like your tanks they're holding threat. No one else needs defense rating. So you get a fire shield on all nearby party members. Whoa. I wonder if you get like a debuff from that. Can you not benefit from it for an hour, or is it just that the item itself has like an hour cooldown? I'm assuming it's that the item itself has an hour cooldown. So like this would have been a cool item, like progressing through Blackwing Lair. Like someone in your party pops this, and everyone gets a fire shield before the fight. And then, if like after everyone comes out from the first wave of damage dealing, then the next person in the group pops it. Like that's kind of cool. Shadow damage, frost damage, arcane damage. So like this could have been cool used in several different fights. Who knows? Maybe they'll be super cool to use in fights in TBC. I do not know, and I don't know if you noticed, but they are bind on equip, and they don't require jewel crafting. So these can be sold on the auction house. People can buy them. Anyone can use them. Kind of cool. Some of those sweaty guilds might be using them. Frost specific spells, fire specific spells. All right, so we looked at the end game stuff. Now we're getting down to like the bind on equip type stuff that like isn't going to be unique to jewel crafting. So I'm gonna move on. I went a little deeper than I probably needed to. I probably could have stopped up here, but some of those next were pretty interesting. Yeah, like this one's buy not equip and doesn't require engineering. So, or I mean enchanting. And by enchanting, I mean jewel crafting. All right, so let's take a look at blacksmithing. I wonder if it's going to show me... Wait, did that say 285? How come this only says 370? What? This must be like super end game stuff. Temporarily increase health by 1500 and strength by 150. Whoa. That's no shit button if I've ever seen a 30-minute cooldown. That one has similar effect. Oh, this one has a bop. Blessing of protection, essentially. Whoa. That seems super powerful. Stamina, intellect, and socket bonus of agility. Who needs agility? That's also going to be... It's male, so... Shamans? Like enhancement shamans? Rep paladins? Get a little bit of agility. Yeah, that's what that is. Enhancement shamans and rep paladins. And probably PvP. I could see potentially that being good for like a prop paladin. It's male instead of plate though. I think if you're gonna be a prop paladin, like you're gonna be tanking, off tanking, you're gonna want something more like these. I don't know. There might be just super cool gear that's not that stuff anyways. Oh, that one also is... Wait. Are these the same? Crit strike attack power, crit strike attack power. 9 mana per 5, 10 mana per 5. What? It says less armor, less stamina, less intellect. Is this just a... Oh, it's the upgraded version. I'm stupid. I saw this and I was like, wait. Okay, I understand now. Some defense rating. So I think there's more end game armor than I was assuming. This is also bind when equip, not bind on pickup. So this BOE stuff. So this the BOP stuff, bind on pickup, is matters in terms of having blacksmithing. So bind when pickup, bind when pickup. So these weapons are where it's at. Main hand, one hand, some agility. Blood Moon. That's a cool name for a weapon. I think I've seen this and I actually don't like the looks of it. Requires Mastered Swordsmith, requires Mastered Axesmith, requires Armorsmith. So you're probably not going to go Armorsmith if you're going blacksmithing. But who knows, you might actually if you're not planning on getting a two-handed weapon for PvP and playing prot, not rat. Shield block rating. So this one does not require like an Armorsmith. Defense, shield block, spell damage done by magical spells and effects by 27. Those are some prop boots if I've ever seen them. Boots of the Protector. Okay, so there's some cool spell powered defense gear in the end game level blacksmithing. What's this source? So it's a drop. I'm assuming that it's like the recipe's a drop. So that was Boots of the Protector. This is Dawn Steel Boots. Spell haste rating. So that's like Holy Paladin. bracers. Holy Paladin shoulders. Okay, so some holy paladins out there are going to be blacksmiths. That's cool. Deep thunder. You need regular thunder. That chance to stun target for 4 seconds is crazy. That's PvP all the way, right? 3.8 swing speed. Damn, that is slow. Holy shit, that is slow. That hit better be good. And then you better run the hell away for 4 seconds. 2 seconds and then come back. And this is one of those main hands that people are upset about that aren't one hand. Dragon Strike and Dragon Maw. Defense rating, frost resistance. Frost resistance. Like that stuff's cool, but it's very specific. Increase your chance to resist fear by 5% and increases strength by 100 for 10 seconds. What's the chance that that happens? Again, pretty slow swing speed, but a little bit faster than the mace. And it requires a master swordsmith. So some of this stuff up here required an armor smith, but I wasn't so impressed by any of them specifically that I was like, man, I need to be an armor smith. So if this is all that there is, and I would have to choose between being an armor smith or being like a swordsmith or mace or hammersmith, then I would probably pick a weaponsmith of sorts. Maybe probably swordsmith. So it increases. Wait. Oh, it's listed below it. That confused me. I was like, why does this one have a better chance of resisting fear? These moon cleavers look stupid if I'm not mistaken. Like the icon is super cool. The item itself, stupid. It looks so dumb. Why is there an eye in it? That's dumb. I'm sorry, but it is. It's dumb. Okay, so you go blacksmithing for a Lionheart champion or Lionheart executioner. Or Deep Thunder. Or some of this stuff up at the top, but I don't see that happening. Like, I didn't see any cool one-handers that were like, man, I need to have that. Like, for a prop paladin. Like, Lionheart Executioner, like, seems like that's where you go. Resist fear seems great. Increase strength by 100. Like, what is that? That's essentially Crusader built into a weapon. And the Lionheart just looks cool. Like, it's a freaking lion built into the end of a sword. I mean, it'd be cooler if you're playing Alliance, because then you'd be like, yeah, it matches like my shoulder pad potentially. Belt of Battle. It's okay, puppy. Is someone home? Do you want to go say hi? I will be right back. Okay, go say hi. Tell them, hey, you interrupted my nap. Go tell them. She's good doggo. I'm kind of surprised how little I've had to train her. Like, basic things, like don't pee on the carpet. She's a smarty. She still forgets stuff on occasion. She doesn't do the greatest job of sitting when I tell her to. All right, so again, we are hitting the bind on equip section, which if you are flushed with cash, it doesn't really matter. So this one requires, but this is that Storm Herald, which turns into Deep Thunder. So I think bind's been picked up. Hit and haste. We'll go until I've kind of run out of epic gear in the sections. Wicked Edge of the Plains. Wild Guard. That's a cool name. Bind on equip, bind on equip. Those are some mail pieces. Bind on equip, bind on pickup. Oh, I think that's one of the things that turns into one of those other ones at the end. The Sunblessed Breastplate. Wait, what is this? Improves spell critical strike by 34. Increase healing. Oh, this is the healing piece. I read the increased damage done by 38. I was like, wait. So those are some Holy Paladin. So that one's bind on equip, but this one's bind on pickup. So you would have to have. You would have to have the blacksmithing for it. Enchanted adamantite. So it's a 4-piece set, but it doesn't tell you what your set bonus is? Is there not a set bonus? And paladins can't use daggers. Forgot about that for a second. Someone reminded me. That has a lot of damage and healing. Holy shit. If paladins could wield daggers, and I was playing prop paladin, I would get this instead of Storm Collar or whatever it's called, that you have to go through the torture of Hellfire Peninsula for. All right, looks like we've kind of run out of the BOP stuff. Hammer of Righteous Might. Okay, it's a two-handed mace with a fast swing speed. That a 2.1 is pretty fast for a two-handed weapon. I mean, like the damage per second is probably like the top end of the 94 to 68. Yeah, look at that. 168 versus 430. It's got a low top end. Not much crits happening there. All right, yeah, we've hit a bunch of bind on equip stuff. I could see that there being like a couple more bind on pickup, but they're probably gonna be the lower levels of some of the other stuff. So that is what you have to look forward to for blacksmithing and the top end. It looks like if you're going to be a main tank, you might want to be an armor smith for cool effects like an additional 1500 and more strength for 15 seconds, 1500 health. Or maybe you are a Holy Paladin. There was some cool Holy Paladin stuff that looked like it was BOP. Or you could go one type of weaponsmith, depending on if you're playing PvP or PvE, it looks like. So if I was to go blacksmithing, the things I would have to look forward to are the Boots of the Protector, which I don't know where that drops from, and the Lionheart sword line. Everything else appears to be BOE or BOP items that I don't care about. Like maybe I'm missing something, but I would essentially be a blacksmith for Lionheart and Boots of the Protector. If I could figure out, like, here, let's look real quick and see. Okay. So it's not like a it's a world drop. It's not a raid drop. So I could just buy this. So that could be that. It's not till phase 2. I see now, but that is a 100% thing that I could get. It's not going to be like locked behind a raid drop. So I would be looking at Lionheart and Boots of the Protector by going Blacksmithing. I don't know what other weapon options are out there. I don't know how they stack up against Lionheart. So I might have to look into that. So jewel crafting, cool. Blacksmithing, Lionheart, and Boots of the Protector. So that would be what I'd be looking forward to in being a blacksmith. Just from quick view, like I may be goofing something here. I'll have to check and see how Lionheart stacks up. Let's just check that now. Wowhead, database, items, weapons, two-handed, and again, it's a two-handed sword. So like that would be if I was playing Ret. So like if I'm not playing Ret, like Boots of the like if I'm playing Prot, the only thing really I have to look forward to is Boots of the Protector. Lionheart would be if I was playing Ret, or I guess for PvP. But if I'm not playing Ret, if I'm playing Prot, then come here, puppy. If I'm not playing Ret, if I'm playing Prot, then I probably wouldn't even make Lionheart. I'd probably be a Mace Smith if I was interested in playing PvP and I was playing Prot in Raid. Then, and I still wanted to play as a blacksmith, I could look for Deep Thunder for PvP. Now that I think about it, if I'm playing Prot, then there's no world where I even want a Lionheart. But if I'm playing Ret, then there's a world where Lionheart makes sense. But not the Boots of the Protector. So, in that case, close the door a little bit so I can cut out some of that background noise. So in that case, Boots of the Protector would be for like Prot AoE farming. But it wouldn't be till phase 2. Linen Heart. Come on, Braden. All right. So some interesting things to think about there. Like I was already kind of thinking, like, what am I even using blacksmithing for? Like, I know there's some cool top end weapons, but I don't know, man. If enchanting wows me, I might not even go blacksmithing. Seems weird, but then that also opens up the option to like. There were some cool BOP Holy Paladin stuff. So like Shakaden in PvP could be fun, having some of that bind on pickup stuff. Okay. We're learning. Did either of these have insightful stuff at the top? Weapons, boots, bracers, chest, cloak, gloves, and shield. As well as disenchant gear into dust. Which, that's another bonus for enchanting, is that if I was doing protection paladin AoE farming, I would be able to disenchant stuff. Which, I don't know how much of the stuff I'd be gaining would be bind on pickup stuff versus bind on equip, because I could just send all the bind on equip stuff to my mage. But that brings it full around. If I'm playing, if I go enchanting on my paladin, my main, then if I want to play PvP on my mage, I could drop enchanting for tailoring. Good. Enchanters obtain raw materials by obviously certain level of just enchant items. So this is the big thing for being an enchanter. Weapon damage, spell power, and healing power. So there is no advantage to being one class or another. Okay. I don't know, guys. Enchanting's looking good. I think it's going to depend on what the ring enchants are. All stats by 4. That's a vendor source. So that's a guaranteed enchant. So you could guarantee to increase all of your stats by 8 because you'd be putting it on both rings potentially. And obviously, I mean, you could get any of these from an enchanter. Increase root and snare resistance by 5%. I didn't even know that existed. That's cool. So what does the enchant ring healing power give you? To increase healing spells by up to 7 and damage by up to 20 and 7. Requires a level 35 or higher. Defense. Okay, so that's a chest piece, so you're going to be able to get that no matter what. Where's the ring ones? By up to 12. And striking. 2 damage to physical attacks. So that's 4 damage for every physical attack. Like, that's not huge. But, like, how would that interact with Protection Paladin's Reckoning? Reckoning provides an additional swing for your next 4 swings when it procs. You're adding an additional 4 damage to every swing. You're swinging ideally every 2 seconds, maybe every just under 2 seconds, like 1.8 seconds for like Stormcaller, for example. So interesting. 4 damage is not a lot. Like, I think you're playing Prop Paladin, you're probably going spell power. Because it was like 95% spell power coefficient on Consecration. So you're increasing it by like 10. We just drop it down by a lot. You're increasing it by 10. And that's every tick to all enemies around you, not who you're swinging at. So just without any actual math or simulation, you are probably wanting spell power on your ring instead of striking. Now, that could also be, you could also want stats instead, like 8 intellect versus, we'll just say 20 spell power. Interesting. I will be right back. I need to go use the restroom real quick, so I'll be right back. All right. All right. All right. All right. I've made it through the coughing fit that was some burnt olive oil upstairs. I sneezed a couple times, coughed a couple times. You know, made it through. Made it through. All right. So, two-handed swords. I think depending on the options that are available for two-handed weapons, specifically swords, I guess not specifically swords. Hold on. Weapons. Two-handed. Now this is kind of entering the area of I don't want to know all this cool stuff like right now. What is going on up there? I unmuted the microphone. We're good. So has staves in here, and I didn't want. Hold on. That's what I'm interested in. Apply filter. There we go. So, how does Lionheart stack up against this other stuff? 126 DPS. Resist fear, increase strength. Something like Jin Rock. This drops from Zul'jin, so this is a raid drop item in phase 4. It looks like Soul Cleaver. So like, I don't know what this is. Tempest Keep. So this is okay. 130. So like, it's not going to be the end of the world if I don't have Lionheart or Storm Herald. Like, if I'm playing PvP, sure, it would be nice to have Storm Herald, but like, there are better options out there, is the thing. There are better options out there, and with enchanting, like, you can't get those ring enchants somewhere else. You can't disenchant gear. No one knows anything about the raid teams that I'm going to be in so far, or that I want to be a part of, I guess. There's no official... Nothing official yet. Dog's chasing the cat, I think. The more I research it, I don't think blacksmithing is the way to go if you're going for a long-term situation. Like, enchanting is one of those things that if you want to be like the enchanter for a group, you want to jump on that early. Like, to make sure you get your foot in the door, and you're gonna inform your fellow teammates that that's what you're like. That's who you are. You're the enchanter. Like, you can be relied on to be contacted for your enchants. Asked how you're. In terms of my old guild, asked how I was doing. That was the key term of wondering if they could get an enchant. So I don't think blacksmithing is the way to go. I think jewel crafting, enchanting, which I have a bunch of blacksmithing profession items built up. Like, if I'm playing Ret, like, Lionheart will be a great weapon. I don't know at what point you can get the Executioner. I think it's just one of those things that are just going to cost a lot. Nether Vortex. Where does this come from? Okay. So that's raid drop materials. Phase 2, so you can't get execution until phase 2. But what about champion? Sorry, I meant to click on the resources. So Primal Nether and Primal Might. I'm pretty sure that those are like open world type stuff. So you can get the champion. And so I'm pretty sure that would be, if you're a ret, that would be your pre-raid bis. And that'd probably be bis. That'd probably be like a really great weapon until you get a raid drop weapon. So I'll have to think more on that blacksmithing and enchanting, which, like, I'm gonna have to make up my mind come pre-patch, because if I want to get rid of some blacksmithing materials, doing it early pre-patch is probably gonna be my best return on value. And if I went enchanting, that would allow me to do things like enchant my own boots with speed, and enchant my own weapons every time I get an upgrade. Like, granted, I could just go to a main city and get that done, but like, it could be nice to just have that ability on my own. Interesting choices there. All right, so let's just do this. JC and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. All right, so I set up my leveling consumes. That's my next thing on my list that I was interested in looking into. I already have some stuff built up. Let's take a peek. What do I have built up? Open up BattleNet. Interesting. There was enough outcry of people saying that they weren't going to pay for 30. They were like, no, I'm not going to clone a character at all. What the hell? Blizzard has announced that they are lowering the price to clone a character in World of Warcraft Classic to $15 US or your regional equivalent. Salutations, WoW Classic players. We'd like to inform you about a course correction we're making. When you log into WoW Classic after patch next week, each of your Classic characters will choose between staying in Classic Era and progressing to Burning Crusade Classic. For those who want to play a character in both versions, we're offering a service to purchase character clone, obviously. However, over the last week or so, we've gotten a large amount of feedback from the community, and we've decided to lower the price. You don't reduce the price by more than 50%. Without, like, that's more than 50. It was $35 per character. Now it's $15. You dropped it more than 50%. And you didn't see that that was a problem beforehand? It didn't seem like money grabbing beforehand? Come on, Blizzard. Lower price will likely still accomplish our goals with the new service while allowing many more players to explore the option of playing characters on both realms. After careful consideration, we've decided to lower the price of a clone character service to $15. You'll see the lower price in games when the service becomes available next week. As always, we deeply appreciate the passion and thoughtfulness of the WoW community. Oh, we appreciate your outcries of the fact that you weren't going to clone a character and you weren't going to give us any money. And the outcry of the Classic era people who were very distraught because all their realms are going to die. Yeah, exactly. Only doing this because of the backlash. Don't praise them for this. Like, that's how I feel about it. I just... You don't bring something down 50% in price. I'm tweeting about that right now. I had some words to say. Cloning service dropped more than 50% in price to 15 USD. Great job, community, for speaking up, but don't praise Blizzard for this. Them being okay with taking this amount of a loss shows how greedy they are being. It's just a shame, dude. Like, I'm excited, but at the same time, like, what the hell, dude? $35 to $15? Like, I understand wanting to have the price at a range where you're not going to flood these classic era servers with too many players to the point where, like, you get false readings on the population. But like $35, that was going to kill the classic era servers. I'm not going to play classic. I considered spending $10 to $15 just to snapshot save my mage, like, because it's my classic main. Like, it was going to be a trophy. I'm not going to play classic era at all. Whatever I did in terms of whatever I was going to do in terms of cloning was just going to be a trophy. And I think a lot of people felt the same way, and a lot of people were just feeling bad for those classic era players. That was like, that amount was going to kill anyone playing at all. I don't know. That's such a reduced cost. $35 to $15. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That just shows how greedy they're being. All right, I'm gonna get off my high horse for a second and get back to what I was doing. So leveling consumes for TBC. So this is for classic, actually. A list of consumes, things that I might have interest in for leveling up my Blood Elf Paladin. We are going to go look at consumes. Gonna close the door. Man, I'm glad that they brought it back, but geez, that has got me heated. All right, turn on my key light. All right. Consumable items of interest for leveling. Man, I wish there were. There might be. I'm not gonna say I wish. There might be a way to set a standard for when you open up new sheets. All right. So consumables. Bump this up to 14. What is going on? That's new icons to Blizzard or Battle.net. Cool. All right, so consumes. We're going to want. I don't know exactly how food buffs interact with, like, I think you can have a food buff and you can have either a battle or a protection. What do they call it? Defense elixir. But you can't have, like, obviously a flask replaces those two. But I think you can have a food buff and the other. So having some food that'll give buffs is something that I don't currently have set up right now. What I have is mana potions for every 5 levels, essentially every tier. And then I have, like, I'll talk about when we get there. So we're gonna need some food buff. We'll just call it foods. All right. What I might do is conjure some water with my mage and transfer it every 5 levels to help with that. I'll have to find some cool person to do the trade for me, but all right, so this is high level stuff. Whoop. We're gonna scroll down here. This is stuff that you can get at level 1, but you're not actually gonna get that at level 1. So I don't have any bandages either. But I'm gonna be a paladin, so you don't really need bandages. You can see situations where I bop Blessing of Protection and then pop a bandage because I'm out of mana, but I still need some health. Damn it. All right, so we've got a few more things than I was anticipating, but bandages is one of those things where I could just get a bunch of the cloth and then level up my own first aid along the way. So I'm not too worried about that. I could just buy the first couple tiers, just linen and wool, and then beyond that, just buy it when the time comes. So we'll buy some linen and stuff real quick. Grobulus. That'll be the server I'll play on if I decide that Fairlina is not for me at that point in time. Let's buy it on. How much money do I have on? All right. Yeah, we have enough. I expect things to be kind of overpriced right now since the auction house is going bye-bye tomorrow morning. All right, I don't want to buy in stacks of linen because that's stupid. Ooh, come on, load the next page. Whoever this Grolk guy is can go screw off. Man, everyone doing it. Quit listing linen cloth and stacks of 1. It's asinine. I will spend the penny more. I will spend the 13 copper more. Not have to deal with your ass. Let's see, what have I bought? That's 30. 35. I think I have an odd number, but whatever. It's cheap. Cheap. It just will be nice to be able to send it over or trade it over. Oh, with that 17, I'm back to even an amount, I think. We'll just buy another. Like, I'm probably overpaying like for this stuff, but this is a somewhat new snapshot of Auctioneer. I deleted all of my data. I didn't mean to click on you. Delete all of my data recently, somewhat, like a month and a half ago. So, and I haven't done too much scanning, so that information isn't like exactly reliable, but all right. And so it goes linen and then wool, right? Professions. Linen, heavy linen, wool, heavy wool, and then silk. And I think starting into the silk territory is when I can just reliably purchase it for myself. You don't have to have a certain level to use. Requires first aid of a certain level, and you can only get your level up to that based on your current level. So that makes sense. All right, so we've got... Oh, we've got an even number. We're good. That should be plenty for leveling. And like I said, like being a paladin, I'm not going to need that 100%, but it will be nice to be able to hit Blessing of Protection and then use Bandage instead of using my mana for healing. So we got linen. We'll pick up some wool. Oh, this is more expensive. Wait. Oh, those are bids. That's more expensive by quite a bit. Like 4 gold for a stack of wool. I'm considering not buying it now. I don't want to buy all the singles. Oh my, that hurts my brain. Yes, my UI is a little messed up right now because I increased the size so my boomer eyes could read things. Whatever, we'll just buy some of these. I'll get some out in the world when I'm playing. Or the prices will drop later on, but it will be nice to have some. How much gold do I have left? Not too bad. Buying singles hurts me. I know that there's a way to search and buy using like the scroll wheel, but it will take me longer to figure out how to do that at this point in time than it would to just go through and buy a bunch of these. So I bought a Skull Flame shield for my paladin for around 800 gold. And then the beta showed that it was nerfed. And so I was like, I wasn't 100% sold on this anyways. So I sold it. And I took a little bit of a loss because the whole community was freaking out about it. I sold it for like 600. So it took like a 200 gold loss. I was like, that's not too shabby. It might not even... People might not even be using them anyways. And come to find out that they later buffed it. They returned it back to its normal stats. But because of the level that you need to be for it in the first place, that's gonna be like end level grinding. And I just don't see myself doing that all that much at that point in time. So I'm just gonna be okay with not having a Skull Flame shield. Just gonna be okay with it. I don't need it. I'll probably find a there's a couple cool shields out there for AoE farming. People looking for enchanters. I'm not here. You do not see me. Wow, this is kind of slow opening this wall. We'll see shortly how many I bought. Less than 50. Because it didn't tell me I had to reload my... We bought 32. Good enough. Good enough. All right, so we got some first aid stuff. We'll just put next there. We got mana pots. Food is something that we'll have to look into. That's kind of why I pulled it up like this. But I think that I might go through and do this instead. Because what do we got here? We got database, items, consumables. So bandages, elixirs. I'm not gonna go as crazy as popping like agility elixirs and stuff like that, which I could. I might instead prefer to pop spell power potions or spell power elixirs. We'll check it out. I'll have to double check and see what I have. I could go crazy and just pop flasks, but if I wait until pre-patch to purchase the flasks, they will be less expensive because they require less materials. Instead of 30 dreamfoil, they require like 7. I think I put all of my... I created a new bank alt for this because I didn't have room on my other bank alt. I had a bunch of blacksmithing stuff. All right, so this is indeed where I have all of my potions. So I have invisibilities, swiftness, lips, faps, all of my jewel crafting stuff. And then I think in here is just healing or mana potions. So always scares me right clicking pots. All right, so we've got bags, we've got mana pots. Cool. All right, and this should probably be a sufficient amount of mana pots. If not, I can buy more or craft more with my alchemist. I don't know where this song came from, but yes. Yes, Harris. I like this song. Sorry, I had to go make sure that it was indeed a Stream Beats song. We should probably go find... All right. This will pause the music for a minute, unfortunately. But we're gonna go find that album. I liked that album. With some good intensity. Oh no, where is it? There it is. Full playlist. Ooh, 30 songs, huh? Looks like we already listened to 1 or 2 of them, but we'll just start it from the top. Yep, I remember hearing this one. But anyways, we've got potions. I believe that should be enough if I'm being like reasonable. I bought these for like a ridiculous price. Just because Dreamfoils dropped so much. And I think I was buying these. I think I discovered that, hey, I'm just going to pop these instead of these because the superior ones were so expensive. It's like, I'll just keep popping greater manas. Okay, so we've got that. Mana pots, check. Elixirs, food and drink. So we want ones that are going to give us a food buff, but it's going to be based on requirement. And I don't know if any of this lower stuff. Okay, so there is some lower ones. 2 stamina and spirit. Some of these I don't like. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go try and get food buffs for 2 stamina and spirit. That's ridiculous. Just wonder if there was like, what is this? Oh, that's item level. Okay, so none of these have like an actual consumption requirement. Where was I? Somewhere here. You know, just stamina and spirit, lollipop. I think some of these are like specific, like the Dark Moon Dog. Bean soup. I didn't even know that was in the game. 2 stamina. Like some of these are from specific event, so I'm not gonna be able to obtain them. The chocolates and stuff. I think I'm gonna have to, get up to these ones that actually require levels. Which one of you give benefits? So like 4 stamina and spirit, that's actually somewhat substantial. Like it's double the previous amount. Like gonna swap these around a little bit because I'm gonna open up a couple. So there are a lot of things that give you 4 stamina and spirit. So I'm thinking that these 3 are probably going to be pretty widespread. Might be better off just to look at this stuff in game, to be honest. All right, so that appears to be the level 5 stuff that gives benefit. Interesting. We start at level 10. We start getting into things that give you mana per 5. I like that they change mana per 5 for spirit in to be more easily calculated. For every 4 spirit you have, that's 1 mana per 5. Like it's much easier to calculate it. That's just what I've heard. I haven't done any actual research myself yet. All right, what else we got here? So 12, we can jump up to 6 with crispy lizard tails. What was this? The smoked sagefish? And per 5 could be good. I don't know if it's going to be as good as spirit. Wait, that's 3 mana per 5. And what were the other ones giving me? Actually, you start getting 6 stamina and spirit. So 6 spirit is divided by 4. That's 1.5. So you're getting 60 health and 1.5 mana per 5. So I don't know if the smoked sage shit, smoked sage fish. I almost said smoked sage shit. All right, so there's stuff that is out there that it looks like every 10 levels, just like with mana pots. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably stock up on stuff that's like 5, 10, or 5, 15 and maybe 25. I'm just like thinking of which ones are going to be more widespread on the auction house, you know? Like the lion chops probably from like the barons. Big bear steak probably. Murloc fin soup's probably gonna be on there too. And what I'll want to do is I'll want to probably buy ones that are. Once I pick one, I'm probably gonna want to stick to that one so that I can have less slots in my inventory filled up. Crockless gumbo might have some widespread use or widespread. The wolf steak's probably gonna be high. Crafted / quest. Now I'm gonna have to search a bunch of these. All right, so when you hit 20 is when you get to that next tier, and it looks like there's only 2 things at 20. So I might stop it there, and then when I'm playing next week, I'll look into buying some more consumes, because I've got a lot here to look at, and I don't necessarily need to go crazy. All right, so we got 9 gold on this character. That'll probably be sufficient for purchasing some low-level food items. If I am going to go enchanting, though, I'm probably going to have... I'm going to have to go buy some enchanting materials. And B, I'm going to want to buy, like, fiery weapon. So... Can you put fiery weapon on a skinning dagger? We'll get to that in a bit when we're looking at enchanting stuff. All right, so with my 1,000 open tabs, we got boiled clams, crab cake, coyote steak, dried pork ribs, goblin. I think the goblin devil clams was 15, yeah. So boiled clams. There's one. We got 1 boiled clam. Crab cakes. People already probably hopped on this. Oh, it's just crab cake. No crab cake. What about coyote steak? Nope, no coyote steak. Dry pork ribs. I might have to craft them. Clam meat. People upstairs are yelling at me as if I am understanding what they're saying. I think I got that kind of stuff for a still video right there. Ridiculously reduced cost. I don't even know if that's something that you need a recipe for. Nope, you're just taught by a trainer. So that is something I will just learn at level 5. Sadly, I won't be able to craft them before then, but also refreshing spring water, I'll probably be able to buy. Oh, this is zesty clam meat. Did I even buy the right clam meat? Oh, I bought tangy clam meat. Shoot. What is tangy clam meat used for? Goblin deviled clams. Okay, we're good. That was one of the next. That was the next tier. That was all 15 stuff. And that one's also taught by cooking trainer. So we're good. I got 20 of those. Cool. So we didn't get any clam meat though. Is there any crawler meat on the market? No. We might just have to give up on the level 5 to level 15 food, which is fine. That's not a huge deal. It is nice to have some goblin devil clams. So that'll give us that 15. Oh my, look at that. I don't know how much hot spices are, but we got, that's ridiculously inflated, but still. Hot lion chops. You know, we don't even need to look at these. I don't think that I'm going to be eating more than 20 of them in the course. I might eat more than 20 of them in the course of 15 to 20, but at that point in time, I can probably cook some stuff from what I make. Like, I don't want to spend too much time on getting food buffs. It's a minimal increase. But let's look at some tasty lion steak, the level 20 stuff. Nothing. We need 2 lion meat for it. Some inflated costs there. What about the heavy crocolisk stew? None. Did I spell it right? No. There's the recipe for it. It's not taught by someone. Okay. Kind of expensive. Level 20, I can start buying some of my own stuff. Okay, so we got some early consumes. They're not level 5 stuff, but they will do. But let's go pick those up. All right, so beyond that, I mean, in the world of consumes, I think we maybe need some elixirs, and then that might be good. Like, I wonder how much skull flames are going for. I have to check that out here in a second. All right, can go check out what that ridiculous is going for. Like, it dropped because of people talking about it being nerfed, and then it was reverted, the nerf to it in beta. There's only 2 up. There was like 6 up yesterday, and the cheapest one was that 1100. Crazy stuff, man. I think that stuff was going for like 150 gold 3 or 4 months ago. Okay, elixirs. So we got food, a was kind of liking looking at this consumable. So flasks, elixirs, food, item enhancements, potions. I don't know if scrolls would work, so that's something that I could purchase. And elixirs I can look into as well. Wait, roids is considered an elixir? Interesting. All right, and so these are the ones that I don't know how they stack. These are all battle elixirs. Okay, so you can only have one battle elixir, so you're probably gonna want to do like lion strength. Maybe even minor defense. Like having 50 defense would keep you in the game, moving from enemy to enemy more quickly. But you know what? I think I am going to end the stream here. I'm getting a little hungry. I also think the dog might need a walk. So I will come back and I will dive back into some more preparation type stuff, and then I will come back.